Hey folks, Brian, we got to play Elerath tonight, and it was pretty nasty battle we got involved with. Remember last time that we were at the gate and the demon showed up. Excuse me, my goodness. Well, we were given 3 rounds to cast or channel temple spells in preparation for because this demon is coming out of the inky darkness. And one of the spells, I think it was Aura, but there was some other paladin spells that got cast on Krim. And so she had this circle of protection kind of thing for us. I don't remember which one that was exactly. But the big demon thing came up, and as soon as it got to the edge of the circle or the sphere, it disappeared. And after that, these little demons, again, these are the praying mantis type insectoid creature people, coming out of this black gooey stuff. And one comes out, then he moves over. Next round, another one comes out. The first one moves even further over. And the second one starts to move around the outside of the circle, like they're circling around us, is what the impression gets. When the third one shows up, Wes goes ahead and casts a suggestion, go back to where you came from. And it actually seemed to have an effect because the creature stopped and was kind of trying to do something, but wasn't sure what it was supposed to do, kind of thing. So I actually got to ask the GM, see if I can get a power check on that. And then Raymond cast Calm Spirits True on one of the other ones. Oh, on the number 1. And when the fourth one comes out, Wes triggers his lightning bolt that he's got in his sword staff, and that failed. What a mess. But then Raymond casts Mass Calm on numbers 2 and 3. So at this point, Wes casts an overcharged lightning bolt at 5. Excuse me. Oh, and they start putting these darkness spheres around themselves. And so I wasn't sure if that lightning bolt actually was effective or not. But then there's some discussion between Raymond and Krim on, you need to close the gate. Well, what can we use? So there's some anti-channeling kind of stuff, spells that he's got access to through the temple. So they kind of figure out which one would work. And then he runs over, but he's got within 10 feet of the gate in order to try to close it or to dispel it. And so Wes, goes with him, and so does both Wes and Runt follow and trace. Runt stays inside the circle. Raymond has to be outside the circle to be within range, so Wes goes ahead and stands outside the circle. And he's actually interposing himself between Raymond and one of the demon things, the one that's all kind of confused. And when we do that, we get this huge wash of fear, but we both make our saving throws. These are demonic things. Bad things are going to happen. So Raymond tries to cast a spell and is unsuccessful. And then the number 3, which is the one that's by Raymond and Wes, gets his darkness thing. And we're discussing, okay, what does this effectively do? Because Wes is just going to defend, right? He's going to, dodge, moving around. He's got a sword and his dagger out, just trying to block anything becoming his way. I can't really see anything. And when you're fighting somebody who's invisible, it's a minus 75. And it's not quite that bad, so we decided on a minus 50. And it attacks, but was successful with his parry. We have a number of rounds of combat during which Raymond gets hit in the leg and he goes down. Krim calls to Raymond to cast Aura on Hjalmar, and then she moves up to where Raymond is, leaving everybody else congregated around the 2 wizards and Sam, because all the other demons came through the bubble at that point and were fighting them there. But when they're inside the bubble, the darkness doesn't work. But when she moves north to where Wes and Raymond are, those demons then get their darkness back, and so they're hard to hit. Except for Rolf, who has bat sense, so he can see where he can sense where people are. And so they're fighting down there. When Crim comes up, well, when Crim comes up, I can then now see number 3 that I've been defending against. And so Wes attacks. Oh, there's also something that happens when Crim comes north. There's a shift in the air, and I think it's everybody except for Wes and Emerald make their saving throws so they can see this new perception, right? The colors are more sharp and vibrant. You can tell the demons are just these husks that are being driven by this other force inside them. And Raymond's looking around and goes, he takes a look at the wizards. You know, do they look different from us? And yeah, they do. When he looks at other party members, he senses a familiarity that goes much further than what he consciously recognizes of how long we've known each other. But the wizards are nothing like that at all. And even Sam is a little more different too. She's kind of like the party, and since but there's no sense of familiarity there, right? But she's actually not unlike the demons. She has a shell, but it's entirely different. It's a light shell, not a dark shell. Oh, and now we can see the other guy, the greater demon. He's up on top of the gate, but he's unaware that he can't actually be seen at this point. And then we can see the gate itself. It's this huge tear in space. And there's a conduit between the material plane here and something else, right? And the gate that they came through, that inky blackness, is another kind of tear in space. But it's different. It's got this sheen of oil on the surface of the tear. And there's a feeling of that surface sheen that's the same as you get the feeling from whatever it is that's inhabiting the demons. And this new perception is coming from Sam. She cast some kind of a spell or something, right? We can actually see the ley line now, too, and the wizards that are working on it. And the conduit of the ley line from here goes to where there's this crystal that, you know, is about where the mausoleum was, right? But there are cracks in the crystal. And actually we can see through all of the walls around us, and there are battles going on elsewhere within the underkeep here and up on the surface, all kinds of stuff going on. But now Wes can see 3, right? So he does a parry, and it's actually a special parry, which means he can do a riposte, and his riposte turns into his riposte was good enough to be not a special, but it was less than his elvish fencing skill, which turns it into an impale. And he got him in the head and killed it. It did a massive amount of damage. 20 points of damage into the head. And while Wes couldn't see it because of this perception thing, he didn't make a saving throw. Others, well, Raymond and Crim there can see that the shape goes away, and there's a brief moment where there's a separation between the original insectoid form spirit and that possessing spirit that's like the inky surface of the gate. Well, Raymond has been trying to cast on the gate, but when the another one came through, there was darkness, so he couldn't see, so he's moving forward, and that's when Crim came up. So he decided to cast Holy Bridge instead, which essentially summons the avatar of Lorath. And when he casts the spell, he appears like he's in a fishbowl. It's all watery around him. There are fishes and stuff like that. And his perceptions change even more because the material world is reflected through here. And it was similar to what he experienced when he was in the presence of the avatar. There's the garden, and there are the 2 titans, Lorath and Sylvanus. And they ask, what do you need? He talks about these evil creatures coming through. We need to patch up this hole. And so the avatar of the temple then steps next to Raymond. She goes and dismisses the greater demon. There's some more combat down south where everybody else is fighting the other demons there. And they start dying off one by one by one. The last demon to go is one up by us. And Wes gets in the in the head again with his dagger. Did max damage with his dagger. It was like 11 points of damage, but it wasn't enough to kill it. So it's still alive. So the Avatar dismisses that demon too. And then she goes into the hallway. Raymond follows in trace because he's like connected with her. And at that point, the conduit actually gets the repair gets finished, and that special perception we have is lost. But while it was up, we could tell that Samantha was dueling with the Forsaken guy, keeping him busy. But the conduit now is in repair and is correcting the cell and charging it up. The gate, which is the hinge here, can be also seen through that perception we had up earlier, that it exists multidimensionally. It exists as the metallic structure with the service LCD screen numbers and figures and symbols and stuff through all these other dimensions that we can see. We can even see the socket where the ley line went into it. The Avatar went out into the hallway. That's where Lady Tamara and her army are fighting even worse demons out there, and she mops up everybody else, all the rest of the bad guys. All right, pretty short video, but live plays in the description. It was like 3 hours. Yeah, 3:48, almost 4 hours long. A lot of dead spaces. We're trying to figure stuff out and look things up. But battles with Runequest can take some time. Happy gaming.